Heal up, heal up, heal up. You know what I have noticed ever since this, I've noticed it before, but even more now with this buju Banton's conversation. There is a high level of xenophobia when it comes down to Africans. Yeah. I think straight up, Africans do not like each other. I realize that we as Africans, we do not like each other. We are very, very divided. We're divided with religion, we're divided with wealth, we're divided with beliefs. We're very, very divided. And divided in a way where it is not healthy. You understand? It is very, very unhealthy. If you look at what is happening, what people are saying, even with this buju Banton's conversation about Afro music, and I've been reading some of the comments, and I do check in sometime and reply to some people. But I realize that there is a level of hatred coming from some people towards Africans who are still living in Africa. So I realize there's a level of hatred, like the tone of the comments. You can sense the hatred towards Africans who are living in Africa. And I think even Africans who are living in Africa, I think there's a level of resentment too for Africans who are not living in Africa. Africans who were moved out or taken out, due to slavery or migration. So I've noticed that. And I think it is very, very unhealthy. But I understand now why black people are at the bottom of the totem. I understand it now. I've never seen Chinese or Asians. I've never seen them on the internet just tearing into each other. Maybe because we don't understand their language, so we don't know if they're tearing into each other. But I'm sure that people would have interpreted the message or the text or the what they're saying. But it's just black people, just like we're just so vile against each other, like so vicious. Like even with this music, Afro music, people talking about Afro music and the way it's not preaching peace. I sense a level of jealousy, yeah, from other Africans towards the Afro musicians. Yeah? I sense a level of jealousy. I sense a level of jealousy from even people in our culture. Yeah? Because when you look at it, Afro music, Afrobeats, has been very successful. Burna Boy, created history. Davido created history. Wizkid created history. All these artists are doing so well. You see? And, let me take buju out of it. Because he said what he said. But the amount of people, even Africans, the amount of people who I see now commenting on it, and the way they are commenting is that there's a level of jealousy and hatred, that is directed at these successful artists. Like, oh, you're not singing uplifting music. You're not singing about poverty. You're not singing about how to free Africa. You see? It's as if people would have rather for artists to just get up every day and sing about poverty, freedom, all of these things, and make no money, make no life for themselves in terms of wealth. Yeah? Do not get to take care of their families, stuff like that. Because when you look at what Afro music is doing, and how these artists are able to take back the resources to their country, no one investigates if Davido is building a hospital, or if Wizkid is building a hospital, or if Burna Boy is donating to charity. No, no one is investigating that. No one is, and I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying, you know, we're not investigating to find out what are these artists doing with the money when they get the money. You know, we know they buy nice things, but of course you work hard. You want to buy nice things. But are we investigating? Are we checking if these artists are actually giving back to, you know, their fellow countrymen and women? You see what I say? I think music is not just one-dimensional. I think when you listen to Afrobeats is kind of a happy music. And it is very unfair for people to be saying, oh, the Afro artist is not singing any, you know, roots and culture. Reggae is roots and culture. And the reason why reggae became like this message music, and many of you may not know this, is that the songs that are in the minor keys, they're more emotional. If you listen to Bob Marley songs, the emotional ones, the one that connects with your spirit, with your soul, they're in the minor key. When I say minor, the minor key, right? The major keys are more happy keys. Yeah? So, and reggae is more slow down, like a slow version of, you know, keys are slow, you know, slow pace music where you just want to, like, you know, meditate. And these artists, when they smoke some weed, you know, weed makes you passive, makes you more peaceful, makes you more calm. They get to sing from a different space, or a different vibration, or a different frequency. So you cannot compare Afrobeats with reggae. You see? Because I'm sure Burna Boy and Davido and all of them, they do have to smoke a spliff to get into a meditative mindset, right? You know, I'm sure, you know, maybe them just going to the studio and they be happy and they just sing happy music, you know. But when you check about reggae, it's like you can see Bob Marley smoking weed and Dennis Brown and, you know, Rasta man. It's like a whole different vibe. So it's very unfair to compare Afro beats with reggae. Very unfair. But people are doing it. And they are doing it from a place of, you know, hatred. Some people. Where it's like, okay, this is our opportunity to dog, to hit out, to demonize our fellow African brothers who are doing well. But before Afrobeat was doing what it is doing now, people used to glorify dancehall and what dancehall was doing. People were celebrating dancehall. People celebrated Shabba ranking. Big dirty stinking Shabba. Slackness. People loved it. There's almost a girl's graduation, love punani bad. People loved it. People celebrated dancehall. Africans celebrated dancehall. And what I think, this is something very interesting, I wanted to pay attention to it. Before Afrobeats, a lot of dancehall artists, yeah, were going to Africa. And they were charging crazy money to go to Africa. And in some cases, the promoters had to pay 100% before they leave Jamaica. Now that has changed. And that resources for a lot of artists has dried up. So I think there's some jealousy when it comes down to, you know, some artists and some people who are no longer, you know, able to go to Africa because people have their own music now. Big up.